morning. I am here back on the Mountain Loop Highway, and today I am already on trail up to climb Mount Pugh. It is the beginning of September, and I decided to start it off with a really epic climb. Mount Pugh is one of the more prominent mountains in the state, certainly in this area, and it is known for the pretty epic scramble for the last 1,000 feet to the summit. And funnily enough, I think that this is one of the most requested and recommended climbs by you all, in person and in the comments. I see people going, when are you gonna do Pugh? Or, you know, I meet you guys in person, like, oh, you should do Mount Pugh. I'm like, well, I'm doing it. I've had my eye on it for a while. I'm going up. This is not an easy trail. It is 10.5 miles round trip with 5,200 feet of gain. I'm already 1,000 feet into this climb, continuing up through the forest, and I have clouds to start, but they're supposed to burn off in about an hour or so, so should be getting into the sun soon. All right, I have a lot of climbing to do. Let's go get the summit of Pugh. Has opened up and it is better than I had hoped it would be. Behind me is the pass that I am climbing to. That is Stewjack Pass. It's about another 1,000 feet of climbing to get up to that saddle, but I spent the last 3.5 miles climbing up through the forest. I climbed up through the cloud layer. There's an inversion. I was looking at the weather. I was hoping for a cloud inversion, and it paid off. That is a really awesome view, and it's only going to get better because it is pretty much views all the way up to the top from here. It's going to be epic, but yeah, I want to climb higher and get some more shots of that inversion, because that's one of the best views I've had all year. I made it to the top of the pass, and look at that incredible view, both directions, jagged peaks, and this cloud inversion. It's just crazy. Look at this. The way the trees fade out is so cool. And I am now in my favorite place, which is a jagged ridge, and this is the border of the Glacier Peak Wilderness. From the pass, this stops being a trail and turns into a scramble with apparently a pretty narrow ridge section, which I'm very excited to see. But wow. And it is so still and quiet. Absolutely amazing. This is a really cool pass. I'm just gonna say that right now. Really, really cool. But yeah, next order of business is the trail is gonna kick up here, and then I think once I get over that, I'll be on the narrow part of the ridge, which, oh, I climbed all this way to get to that part. I am more excited for that part than the summit, I think. So, oh, but that view really is something. That's absolutely amazing. I just completed the ridge, and oh, that was a lot of fun. Though I do not recommend if you are afraid of heights, but that was super fun. That was one of the best ridges I have been on. And now I have the final approach behind me, and this is the crux. This is where it's gonna go up this, it's gonna take a bench, and that's the hardest part with the dangerous exposure. And then after that, it's smooth sailing to the summit. But this is where it becomes a scramble, where we get more exposure. It gets a little bit spicier, even though the ridge is already spicy. So I am very close though, so I'm excited. Going up that. Pugh is up that way. Summit here in a wind shelter because the wind coming off the North Cascades is actually pretty fierce, and oh, that final ascent up here is no joke, but it is also so much fun. It is such an aesthetic climb. The ridge is super cool, brutal with the sun exposure. The actual fall exposure and stuff was pretty fun. It's nothing dangerous, but it also feels, you know, a little spicy. And then I got the summit. Summit's over that way. I went and sat on the summit rock. You can't really stand on it. But whew, I am beat getting up here, and some smoke also rolled in off the North Cascades, which is kind of putting a damper on the views. But honestly, I don't even mind, because the air quality hasn't decreased to the point where it's impacting me, and also just it has not ruined any of the views climbing up, and just seeing this mountain alone is cool enough. So yeah, I am relaxing up here before I even think about heading back down, because that is going to be a brutal descent. I'm gonna relax, eat my Snickers bar, take pictures, and just enjoy this wind, because it's been pretty stagnant today, which has not helped with the heat, so I'm happy to have some wind. Coming off the summit, another party showed up right as I hit my turnaround time, and whew, yeah, gosh, I had a lot of fun hanging out up there, but yeah, I have a long way back down, so I wanted to get started. It was a bit too hazy, I think, for the tour to be particularly interesting. I think the real star of the views today was that inversion on the way up. That was really, really cool. But yeah, I'm not sure how well too many of the peaks are going to come out, so it would be a bit of a lackluster tour. But you can see like Glacier Peak and Sloan and a bunch of really jagged summits. But now I am going back down 5,000 feet, and once I get down into the forest it shouldn't be so bad, but until then it's going to be a pain, mostly because it's sun exposed and it is getting really hot. So I'm very motivated to get down these 2,000 feet, get down the rock scramble, get down the ridge, and off the pass back into the forest. Then it'll be cruising back to the trailhead. Because yeah, I would like to get out of the sun. I got my sun hoodie on. It'll keep me protected until then. But yeah, just gonna be careful. No slipping and falling. Back down to the forest, then the parking lot. It's a long day, but really satisfying summit, because it's just such a prominent mountain. So I definitely cannot complain, even though this descent is probably gonna hurt. The final mile and a half out of here, and I'm gonna wrap up the Mount Pugh adventure. That was a really fun route. A lot of climbing. 5,000 feet plus of climbing is no joke, but honestly most of it is nicely graded switchbacks through the woods and the meadows, and then the ridge and the little bit of a scramble and the final summit push are all really fun. Absolutely, really fun route. You know, the smoke didn't even put that much of a damper on things. It's been on and off all day. It's definitely getting worse. I imagine this area will have more tomorrow. But honestly, I was more excited to be on the route. That ridge is so cool. And also, I got something I've wanted to photograph for a long time, and that would be a gorgeous cloud inversion out here. I've gotten a couple on camera before, but that's probably the best one. And you know, there's always a little bit of anxiety with those, where you're like, am I hiking into the cloud or above the cloud, and is it actually going to happen? And that just kind of highlighted how jagged and isolated some of the peaks are here. They just kind of look like their whole own world above the clouds. And that's the fun part with an inversion, is you can kind of imagine you're as high up as you want. The rest of the world does not exist down there. So that was definitely the highlight of the climb for me today. And gosh, I needed to get out. I needed to do something hard. I really needed this. I've been stressed a lot lately, and doing something challenging in the mountains, especially getting out this far into the really beautiful backcountry, is the best medicine. So that was cool. Couple of notes. I showed in the video the part that I think most people are concerned about. It's the ridge and then the beginning of the scramble for the final ascent. And there is some exposure, but I think it would be pretty difficult to fall. Just pay attention. But on that note, I would say avoid this if you are afraid of heights. If you, this is not like the Kendall catwalk where it feels like you've got enough space. No, this is very narrow, which I love, but I realize many more people might not. So yeah, if you're afraid of heights, this is not the one. This is not the one. But if you do like ridges and stuff like that, this is a pretty good one. I think that's one of the narrowest ridges that actually has a trail. I think to get a narrower one, you would have to do like some more technical mountaineering off trail routes. So that's a really cool trail feature, and I was very excited, and it absolutely delivered my ridge scrambling dreams. Anyway, finally did Mount Pugh. I have been pondering it for some time, and I finally got the summit, and I think it was just about a perfect climb today. I feel great, even though it's a long day. Feeling good. The mountain treated me well. So anyway, I have definitely gone on long enough about Mount Pugh. Highly recommend if you are up for a strenuous climb with some cliffs. Thank you so much for watching, and here are my favorite pictures from the trail today. Enjoy.